Okay, this is my 2011 Porsche Boxster Spyder. And I know just what you're thinking. What? Yeah, this is actually the first generation of the Spyder. It was the 987.2 Spyder. About 900 of these made it to North America, and I actually flew 2 states over to buy this about a year ago, having never seen one before. And then drove it 10 hours home. And am I glad that I did it? Yes, I am. Why? Because it's sick. So what exactly is this thing? So this is actually the lightest Porsche that Porsche made at the time. So the difference between this and like a Boxster S, it's actually got the same engine. They've got the same 3.4 liter flat six naturally aspirated engine. This one I think is bumped up like 5 or 10 horsepower, but the Spyder comes with aluminum doors. They're actually the GT3 doors. Comes with an aluminum hood and a aluminum deck in the back. And then it's got the lightest wheels that Porsche made at the time as well. They're 19s. And so I think this car comes in at like 2,800, 2,900 pounds, kind of depending on options. You could have gotten it with carbon bucket seats. Mine does not have them. And, you know, the seats are kind of showing a little bit of wear. You know what I mean? She is a 2011 with, I think it's got 46 or 7,000 miles on it. You know, which now, you know, looking back at it, the carbon bucket seats, like today, are worth like, you know, 17, 18,000 bucks. And they were actually a no-cost option on the Spyder. You could have gotten them for no money. But, you know, thinking about it, if I would have the one option in this car, like not knowing that they're going to be worth 20,000 bucks one day, I probably also wouldn't have gotten them. Just because, you know, like I'm going to be taking my wife out for rides and stuff, and she's not going to be in no carbon bucket seat. If anybody's ever been in one, you know that they are, you know, unless you're like on the track or, you know, aggressively driving, they are pretty uncomfortable. Would I take them now, though, if somebody gave them me? Yeah, drop them in. They're sick. But, you know, it sucks. Like, back in the day, I probably wouldn't have optioned them either. But let's crack the door open so you can check out the inside of this thing. It's got the cup holders, which are, you know, I actually really like them. The good old famous Porsche cup holders. I really like them. A lot of people don't like them. I like them. 6-speed manual. What do we have on this thing? Okay, 48,000 miles. Realistically, the only wear spot that you can tell is the seat. So I'm probably going to have these redone. Maybe I might have them redone in Alcantara, which would be kind of cool. I could get some pole position seats, but you know what I mean? Then you're dealing with the airbag issue. It'll throw an airbag light, which would kind of annoy me. But realistically, man, it's just a beautiful car. Like, I just think that the rear humps make it just look incredible. The only thing that, you know, the downside of it is that the top is all manual. It's actually completely ridiculous, but I just drive it with the top down, man. I just leave the top down almost all the time. And if it starts to rain, you know, obviously I'll put the top up, but I don't really take it out on days that it's going to rain. And if it does, I'll, you know, throw the top on and keep cruising, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. These are lowered a little bit from factory, so they're a little bit lower than a Boxster S. That's the other difference. But realistically, you know, they're pretty similar to a Boxster S. And I think you could get a lot of the same experience for, you know, a little bit less money. Except Boxster, you know, 987.2 Boxster S's really aren't that cheap either. But man, these things have just climbed like crazy. You know, I think now I paid $56,000 for it. Let's be, you know, up front. But you know, I don't know if you're gonna find one really much cheaper than that. And I think that they are kind of going up a little bit. But you know, I never, you know, who knows? They could go down. No idea. But you know, that's kind of the beauty of this car. And it's kind of what I tell people when they're looking for one, or they're looking for a, you know, a specific Porsche in general. You know, you can buy this for, you know, say 56, 60, 65,000 and really not lose any money on it while you drive it for however long you want. So really, is it costing you any money? You know, of course, you know, you're going to have the old heads that are like, man, that money's worth $25 million in 50 years when you're 85. Like, brother, we know. We know that I could put it in, you know, stock market and compound interest and be rich later on down the line. But, you know, that's, you know, life's all about balance anyways. You know what I mean? You can have some fun while doing some investments and stuff like that. But, you know, something like this, you can almost drive it for free. You know, Boxster S's are probably at the bottom or close to the bottom that they're ever going to be. Even a regular base Boxster, man, you could pick one of those up for 20 grand and have a ball. Get a manual, get the 3 pedals, and roll. You know, you don't have to overly think about it. A lot of 911s are like that too, 98s, you know, 997s. A lot of 991s. A buddy of mine had a 991, and, you know, he bought it and sold it 3 years later and like lost like 3 grand. So, you know, now here I am giving people financial advice when I should not be. But here we are anyways. But that was basically like my thought process behind buying it. Was like, okay, you know, yeah, it's, you know, $60,000, but the car's worth $60,000 as long as, you know, you don't wreck it or something forever. So that was just kind of my basis behind it. And gosh, what a driving machine, man. This car really is incredible. It sounds great. It's as fast as you need it to be. I mean, I personally am not one of those people that's like, man, I gotta have 1 billion horsepower. You know what I mean? Because it's fun, don't get me wrong, having a lot of horsepower is sick. And if you have a car that's super fast, my M3 guys that are watching this video, you got an M3, and you got her tuned up to 700 horsepower, good for you. You're going to catch me on a light. I'm not racing you, you know what I mean? I'm not going to race you, because your car's going to be faster than mine for sure. But there's no way you're having more fun than I am. You know, dude, you'd have to drive one to see. There's so much fun. You're revving it up. Every single shift, you're, you know, 5,000 and up RPM, and it's just fun, dude. Like, I think if you've never had a Boxster, or you know, if you're a 911 guy, that's obviously fine too. Those are just as much fun. 911s are great. All Porsches are fantastic, let's be real. You know, and I think that only people that have had one quite understand what I'm saying. You know, if you've had the Porsche experience, dude, you realize it's just sick. It's fun, man. It's so much fun. How are you not having fun? Revving that boy up, boom, boom, shifting gears. So, anyways, that's kind of it. You know what I mean? I'm now at this point, I'm just kind of rambling, which I don't really need to do anymore. But this is the Boxster Spyder. If you guys got any questions, hit me up in the comments. Boom! She looks good. All right, I know what you guys are thinking. Fire that thing up and let's go for a rip. Let's do it. The Boxster. I'm going to drive it around for a minute, and we're going to let the oil warm up. And as soon as we get that done, I will get back with you. Alright, so we got it pretty warmed up. 3.4 liter naturally aspirated engine. It makes, you know, stock 320 horsepower. Got some aftermarket goodies on this car. Got the GT3 throttle body, GT3 plenum, an aftermarket tune. We've got an aftermarket exhaust. I didn't put any of those parts on. I bought it like that. Also, I apologize for the overly bouncy camera. I am filming this on an iPhone. This isn't some expensive camera setup, but yeah, I bought it like that. Would I have done the stuff to it? Maybe, you know, the car's got a lot of power, feels good, but I didn't really have a lot of options. It was the only one for sale in North America when I bought it that I could find that was white in a manual. But the car really is great, man. It sounds great. It's just fun. And I recommend anybody grabs one and has some fun with it. I'll change up the camera angle. I'll try to put it on the rear glass here so you can kind of get a little more of a POV, but you roll up the windows too, so maybe you can hear me a little better. don't have to scream. That might be a good idea. But, you know, with the top down, you get like the sensation of speed from the car. I mean, like, you know, you're accelerating out of, you know, first and second, and it feels like you're going like 1,000 miles an hour when really, you know, you're probably going 60, 70 maybe. But it just makes for like a super fun experience. I don't really know how to describe it other than that. You know, this is a pretty nanny car. It doesn't, you know, the computers aren't taking over for you. I don't have electric power steering. You know, it's a 3-pedal car. It's just you and the car. You know, I don't have to get in and press any buttons to make it do what I want it to do. I get in and it just does it right away. It makes for an interesting experience, and that's the beauty of it. I wish Porsche would go back to that a little bit, you know. And the turbo car, the new turbo. I'm gonna turn here actually. The new turbo. Coming out. The new turbo 4-cylinder. As good as it may be, it just doesn't have that naturally aspirated charm that an NA motor has, you know? NA is just beautiful. So, and I don't even know if you can really hear it in the video. That's the thing. It's not like I have a mic back there picking up the sound of the engine. And there's a lot of wind because it's convertible, but you know, you have the intake sound kind of right here behind your ear, so you get a lot of that like good intake sound, which is cool. The exhaust sounds sick, so it's fun. I'd recommend it to anybody, for real. Downshifts are so easy in this car. It's so easy. It's that engine, like it makes it easy. It's great. All right, so that's my Porsche Boxster Spyder. For those of you that watched all the way through, thanks for watching it. And if you got any questions, thoughts, comments, let me know. Hit me up. And if you need a little push to go get yourself a Porsche, this is it. Go do it. They're a lot of fun. And, you know, have some fun and be safe. So y'all have a good one.